To my beautiful souls out there, the ones who have struggled, to the ones who had to get it out the mud, to the black sheeps out there, to the ones who have faith in universal laws, who really leaves it to God. You know, you've had a lot of people hurt you. You've had a lot of people lie on you. You've had people steal your blessings or what was ever owed to you, or just try to make you look crazy. And today, as I'm watching on my news feed, and today was let's just say I've had things on my mind, and I've been taking it to God. And then you wonder sometimes if you've done enough. And you know, you have, you know, people who attack you, who want to see you fall because they don't want their mask to slip, right? And you've been kind, you have given your love, you try your best to be obedient. And the one thing that I've been seeing, actually since yesterday, that God has let me know for yesterday, He's telling me, you've done enough. You've done more than enough. Because you know, when you know you really get close to God, that you pray, you know, you'll even pray for your enemies. You know, you, however God leads, you know, He leads you to pray for, because He will give you signs to pray for certain things. And you put faith in that prayer. And then, you know, that's one of the things that God was telling me, is that you've done enough. And anything that was owed to you, that was taken away, and right now is not a good time. And I've been giving that message out to people. Now, any time is, and I've said this, you know, if I'm bringing it up again, there's a reason for it. It's to be kind to people, because everything's returning so fast. If you could see the world right now, everything's being exposed. And I keep hearing that for you anointed ones out there, every tear that you've shedded has been collected. And don't think that God doesn't notice, because that's another sign that I got, that Jesus sees you and He never left you, and that you had to go through the things you went through. You had to go through that. And He's letting me know that it wasn't punishment. He promised it wasn't punishment, because it only made you stronger, and it only made your light brighter. And I know there's many other people with the same situation as mine. And I know there's some times where you're like, God, why? Why does this have to keep going on? But there's a reason for it. And I'm also hearing that you don't have to chase nothing. That not only you have God, but the Spirit, in the spirit world, they see, they hear. It's like the ether news goes out, and they hear about the Anointed One. And then you have so many spirits that work for you, that your ancestors and your angels, that there's something so big going on in the spiritual world. And not only that, that God is really working on people's hearts. Like, I'm hearing that you got people that's helping, that God's really working on. And then you got people who really hurt you, who have not repented. I've also been shown that, given signs of that. The people are arguing, they're fighting, they're being exposed, their mask is slipping, it's showing on my news feed. Not only that, of hauntings, and everything has got to get approved by God, just like if you get spiritually attacked, And I'm also hearing that they're trying to hurt you, literally, to bring you to a low vibration so these spiritual attacks can work. Like I had a dream tonight when I went to sleep and I took a nap earlier, that there was some type of sex magic, or they're trying to work on your sacral to pull from it, to get that divine energy to cover them, to give them this false energy. But you can't clone divine energy. If you try it and you're a karmic and you're out here doing these disgusting things, it'll wear you out. You can't keep up with it. That God is telling me to give out the message to them that you don't have to chase nothing. That God is working in your favor. As long as you focus on me and you do the best you can and you be obedient, that I know your heart and He is working in your favor, and you put faith in that. And that's one thing that is like a superpower, your faith. Your faith. I am being shown repeated videos of the downloads that I've already received, but it keeps popping up that other people is starting to see through the smoking mirrors. You did not take revenge. You did not retaliate. You left it to God, even though there was a time where you just was so angry and you just but you didn't. You chose the higher path, and let people think your kindness is weakness. Because I promise you, karma, I don't even like to call karma a bitch anymore. I have much respect for karma. I literally do, because she is the truest gangster. Because she comes when you, I'm telling you, people are getting hardcore karma that they never see this coming. If somebody has mistreated you, if somebody has spiritually attacked you, if, and also I'm getting, being shown over my newsfeed, like, and I've said this in the past on my old channel, that they want to disrupt your household. They want to take the people close from you away. They want to cause fights. They want to split you apart for the last few people that you love. But when you go messing with that, already mess with an anointed one. Like, say if they want to separate, to get your children to go against you, or whoever you still have in your life, or they want to attack. They want to attack the things you love and send in all this dark magic too. I'm telling you, it's a big no-no. And not only that, when you got the angels and I'm being shown right now, when they crucified Jesus, and I don't mean this in no form, no way, no disrespect to Jesus. I'm not saying like you are Jesus or you're like a God. I'm not saying that. But when you are one of His children, His anointed ones, and when they had Jesus on that cross and they were sacrificing Him, and the angels wanted to come down and they wanted to intervene, but God wouldn't let them, that's what the spirit world's like. But now, God is approving on, like, you have to leave it to God. And that's one thing that God's been telling me. Don't chase. And to give the message out, don't chase what's yours, because it's going to come back to you. It's going to always come home to you. That's one of the things I saw when I watched Pet Sematary the other day. What belongs to you always comes home to you. You just was not ready for it. That all that you've been through. Sometimes I look back on my life and I think, how did I survive that? And I literally had God. I had to tell, God and Jesus how many times He saved me. He saved me so many times. And you have to have faith that everything is going to work out. And I'm hearing like a whisper say, you got destiny helpers that God is going to send people to help you. You're going to find your soul tribe, because this is not just one person's stories. There's people out there on the street, and that was one thing I saw like 3 months ago on my newsfeed that came up, and it was a confirmation on the time. I remember the time of the video was the time of the day that I watched. The Spirit was reminding me about there's people on the street, homeless, that are millionaires. Literally, there was one story of a guy whose brother stole his inheritance, literally, and this guy lived on the street, didn't fight for it, but somehow he came along and he met someone, and I guess the homeless guy did some work for him or something, and he was able to have a hand in helping him get his inheritance back. You know, that's another thing that's been on my newsfeed, that all these people are getting busted on, you know, life insurance. You know, you gotta think, you know, that if the Spirit's on the other side, and I'm seeing the movie Ghost in my head right now. If you haven't watched the movie Ghost, literally, the character Sam did not leave Molly. Like, he stayed and he protected her, you know, because there was people, like, he was taken out over money, you know, and I literally be shown that movie all the time, and she had the help of Sam and to the Ascendant Masters, you know, the ones who healed on the other side, and they had more power where they can manifest in this world, you know, because I promise you this, everything that was hidden in the dark, no matter how long it takes, it always comes to light. God is saying it, leave it in my hands, because it'll be perfect timing. And a reason why I'm getting this message out, because there's so many others out there. There's so many others out there who are going through it, and they're trying to shut you up, and they're spiritually attacking you. They want you to go back to your old ways. You know, you may have some people trying to reach out. Something about, I'm hearing, reach out to secretly record you, to lie, say, to get you on the phone or some kind of recording to say, see, they still, you know, somehow to fit the story that they told. Literally. You know, no matter what they do to try to block it, they try to say whatever about you. They try to interview on mail. They try to bring chaos into your home. They try to, you know, put people against you. God has the last say. Some of you guys even have dark forces working. I'm not even going to go in that deep. I'm not. And I'm also being shown the movie Skulls. And I remember the one guy said, who was in the schools, he said, there are limits. There should be limits to what's done. And you're a beautiful soul. Because I know there's other light beings out there who have that beautiful soul. Does not deserve what you've been through. But remember, it was a lesson that God had to put you through. Because if you would have got that blessing back then, somehow it would have came and would have bit you in the ass. It would have, God had to orchestrate it that way. And I'm also hearing too, to the ones who's in hermit mode, that it's really for your protection, because some of you guys are so fucking close, excuse my French, that they are willing to do anything to stop this from coming to you. They're so worried about being exposed, but they're already exposed. So many shut up spells they done to you. I had sore throat the other day. I noticed every time I post a video, which they're shadow banning, they're blocking it to where people can't see, or they're deleting things or whatever. But remember this, nothing is ever deleted. Nothing is ever deleted once you put it out there. And everything, the story is being fit. And I'm only coming on here because I know there's others out there who you were so kind, and you never took that revenge, and you kept moving forward. And not only that, you were putting the love out there to others when you were depleted, when you literally had nothing, but you still gave. You still prayed for people. Your heart didn't turn sour. You didn't sit there in bitterness and literally be like, you know, since I was treated like this, I'm going to treat other people this way. God literally has the last say. And give thanks to Him. Give thanks to Father. Give thanks to Jesus. Because I'm telling you, faith is your power. That's why they don't want people to heal from their trauma. They want them to stuck in that low vibration. And the higher the vibration you are, nothing can touch you. So they need you to be in low vibration right now. They need you to feel hopeless. You ever seen the movie, what was it called? Jennifer's Body. I Need You Hopeless. They want you in low vibration. They are trying to they're trying to keep you hidden. They don't want you to work. They want you to stay in misery, but you outshun it. That isolation, that's what God does. He'll put you in isolation to mold you and shape you. And yes, it takes time. And I'm also hearing you're being patient. And you want the answers. I'm hearing you know to trust your intuition, but you're going to get everything. You're going to get everything. And people will put respect on your name. You will leave a legacy behind. That you have a huge purpose in this world. I'm hearing God say, tell them. Tell them. I know God has saved me so many times. So many times. You know, the one thing I know God saved me from, healed me from, was addiction. And I used to think I would be trapping that forever. And you guys, I've been over 2 years clean. And it is so wonderful. It's a beautiful thing to be awake. It's even a beautiful thing to be awake when things are not going well. Because you can always learn. Even though from all the bad things that I've been through, I've learned something from it. I know if I made it through that, I could just you're able to deal with things. You know, you can stay balanced. You know, don't let them throw you off balance, because I'm hearing like somebody's watching. I always feel like somebody's watching me. And there's a countdown. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. This divine intervention. You're being protected. So don't feel like your life is too late or you're too old, because I don't know why God made me run into this woman the other day, and this is for somebody too. I ran into a woman who was in her 40s, and she never had children, and she was pregnant, and she was telling me that she was like in shock from it, you know, like she's in utter shock. And there's something, either you're birthing or somebody's going to be shocked that you're going to have, I don't know if it's another, there's something being birthed. Something being birthed for you. They're so beautiful. But please keep your faith. Faith with no sight. I had that written really big on my calendar. Have faith with no sight. Even when you don't see evidence of anything, God is working. And I have to I tell myself that. Anything I say to you guys, I say to myself. I will not be a hypocrite. But there's so many people's stories out there. So many. But God did not want you, because there was a reason. There's a reason for everything. If one door is blocked, you can't get a job here, you can't get a job there, there's a reason for it. If you didn't get that opportunity, there's a reason for it. It would lead you to a dark path. You have favor over your life. To the anointed ones, you have favor over your life. And let the people think that you think you're low. That's the illusion the devil puts on them to keep them in that bitterness. That's all that is. No, you're not crazy. You know what I say all the time? You ain't crazy. You just tapped in, baby. You just tapped in. And I'm going to leave it on that note, you guys. I love you. 333, all journey long.